Hey there, y'all, and welcome to my kitchen. This is actually my actual kitchen that I live and cook in every single day. We're at the very end of a remodel, so I felt like it was a good time just to go ahead and come up here and do one episode of Mama Witten's Kitchen Shortcut Suppers in the final stages of this. This weekend, my stove is going to be put in, my new cooktop in. I got my hood vent in yesterday and it'll be framed out, but I was just excited to get my new kitchen, but I wanted to have my old one somewhat in the memories. So here we are, we're upstairs in my main kitchen, and I'm going to share a shortcut supper with you today that is so easy. There's almost no chopping to it, just a little bit of cooking and assembling, and you will be in business. We are going to do some street style tacos for our shortcut supper today, and what we have for that is a bag of Mexican street corn. These are so easy to find every single place that you grocery shop. Any kind of prep salad like this is going to come with several ingredients in it per bag. So these are a one ingredient item that pack a major punch, and we're just going to add to it and make our chicken for our tacos taste amazing, build that salad and put that as our taco topping, and then show you how to do a quick little black bean side. It's going to be a delicious shortcut supper you're going to want to keep on hand. So let's get started. So obviously, if chicken is part of this shortcut supper, that's going to have to get started first. I have a pack of chicken thighs here. This is just a 6-pack of chicken thighs, and I'm going to get it into a Ziploc bag. And I find this is a very easy way to season my chicken and get the marinade covering the chicken the best. So I'm going to just go ahead and get that into the bag. And then if you want to, you could also always use a package of taco seasoning, but I always make mine. And that's what this shortcut supper lifestyle is about. Prepped items from the grocery store, meal prepped items you do at home. So I'm going to rinse this hand off that touched chicken real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my seasoning into my bag. I'm going to need a good 2 to 3 tablespoons of seasoning, but if you're using a taco seasoning blend, you just use the whole pack. And then, of course, because I almost never leave well enough alone, we're going to add a little bit of help to this regular taco seasoning. We've got a lemon here, and you can use a lime, obviously, if you have a lime, but I'm going to use a lemon today, and I'm going to just press it real good. We're going to use half for this portion of our meal and the other half for another portion of our meal in just a minute. So I'm going to take my lime, I'm going to juice it right into my bag, get all that lime. I said lime, but it is a lemon. It could be a lime, but today it is a lemon. Okay, that's going in the bag. And then I'm going to go in with my secret flavor weapon. Whenever I'm doing street tacos with chicken, I add a little soy sauce or liquid aminos into the marinade. And what it does is just totally take it to a new place. So that's about 2 tablespoons of liquid aminos and the juice of half of that lemon. If it's a really small lime that you end up using, you might want to go ahead and use the whole one. So I'm going to get the air out, get my bag sealed up, and get this hanging out for just a minute while I get some oil in my pan. We just really at this point want to get a lot of massaging around in the bag because you want this to get the most contact with the spices that it can possibly get. Okay, so in addition to that, we're going to make some black beans, and that's a very simple recipe as well. I'm going to make some black beans with a little bit of Rotel in it to thin it out and boost the flavor. And then I'm going to just add my taco seasoning in and another couple ingredients that we are using for other parts of this meal as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little heat back here in my back pan as well as get some heat in my front pan. Now, we want to have about medium heat on the back pan for our beans, because they're going to go the whole time, pretty much the whole time that we're doing this. And I'm not going to drain these beans because they have some seasoning on them and they're organic. So I'm going to use the seasoning. But if you have some that are just bland and they don't have seasoning, you can drain and rinse your beans, put them back into the pan, and then start adding flavors. But when you've got seasoned beans, go ahead and take the chance and use that seasoning that's there for you. Okay, and then I'm going to get in a can of Rotel. And like I said, that pan's on medium heat. This front pan, I just put it on medium high so it can be ready for our chicken in just a second. I really love chicken thighs. I love the flavor that they give. They cook pretty quickly when they're boneless. And they also always just have that really tendency to be more juicy than a chicken breast. So I prefer a chicken thigh, or at most, if I'm doing both, I really enjoy mixing a chicken breast and a chicken thigh if I'm shredding chicken, to get that good consistency and juiciness and lean meat. So there's a tip. If you want to buy a pack of chicken breast and a pack of chicken thighs, shred those up together. That's going to give you a little more moisture in your chicken. So that was half a can of Rotel. I'm saving this for a little later too. And then we're going to go in with a few cilantro sprigs. That's going to add some flavor. And then a little bit of our taco seasoning. Now, when you want to do cilantro, some people don't love the flavor of cilantro. And if that's you, that's totally fine. I would add in like a scallion here for this. Or you can leave this out. This is totally optional. But this is just one of the things that I use to punch up the flavor of packaged ingredients often. Okay, so a little taco seasoning in my beans. And they are already starting to bubble. So that happened really fast. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon or two, depending on whether your beans are seasoned or not. So I'm going to use a teaspoon because my beans are seasoned. But if your beans are not, you want to go ahead and use 2. There is salt in my taco seasoning, but I will taste for sodium level at the end. And now I'm going to get some oil in my pan for my chicken. Now, street tacos are typically just fairly fresh, focused, simple flavors, not a ton going on. So you don't usually have your sour cream, all your cheeses and all that in street tacos. A typical street taco is cilantro and onions on top of your meat and maybe a little bit of salsa. So this is actually going a little bit step further anyway. Okay, so now that that's getting warmed up, I'm going to get my oil moved around to make sure everybody is happy. Get my chicken over here and ready. And I'm so excited. I actually get to use this that my son got me for Christmas. This is my little taco holder. Isn't that cute? Okay, so my heat is happening here. And this bowl back here, we're going to make that salad here in a minute, but I want to get my chicken started first. Anytime you're doing this, you could always do chicken on the grill. I just stay right here in one place to teach you. But if I was going to do this on a regular night, I would definitely do half of this out by the grill just because I can, and I love to go out to the grill. All right. And my husband just bought me a brand new grill, and I've been out there every opportunity I can get. I love it. It's a good commercial size grill, and as much as I cook, we need it. And as much as we have big boys over here eating at our house, I need it too, because we have those young adult boys that are almost 20 and 22, and then we half the time have a college kid that lives with us that's the same age as our oldest son, and he's bringing home his buddies too. So we've got a house full of young adult boys that really know how to eat. And then we've got these little girls that just keep us all on our toes. So I'm getting this into my pan. I want to get it on high heat so it really starts sizzling good and working for me. And then everybody is going to be in there. If you can't fit everybody, if you don't have a pan big enough for everybody to fit in, do this in batches because you don't want to crowd it too much. Right here, everybody's got their own space. They're a little bit close to each other, but as they start to cook, they will shrink slightly and they have their own spot, so they'll be good. Okay, so that's that. And now, for our shortcut part, that we're actually going to zhuzh up just a little bit, because when can I ever leave well enough alone? Isn't that the point? Okay, so my bag is going to get, I need to get a little knife just so I don't have to battle with it. Cut open like this and emptied into here. And this, like I said, this has the dressing in here. This has a few other items like some corn that's going to go on top here. Yeah, and my beans are really going now. I can turn them back to medium low. All right, so we have a dressing in here, and I'm going to use it, but I'm also going to help it, just like a Southwestern style dressing. So I'm just going to zhuzh it up a little bit. I've got some corn with cornbread crumbs that's going to go in here. I'm going to put that on top. Like, hopefully I don't have to battle with all these things. Where did I put that little knife? All right, it's going to let me in there. I know it. There we go. And then we've got a little bit of shredded, grated cheese in here too that came with it. So we're going to make sure everybody gets in the pool. A little cheese never hurt anybody. And then this dressing is what I really want to help. So I'm going to mix all this together. And then I'm going to get my dressing zhuzhed up just a little bit. So get this mixy. I'm going to get my reserved Rotel. Now, my Rotel actually let all the liquid go in here. So this is just tomatoes, and I'm going to put those tomatoes into my salad. And the other things I'm going to zhuzh up my dressing with is a little bit of cilantro, or you can use green onions if you don't like that, and some lemon juice. Told you we'd use that other half of the lemon. So on top of our tomatoes goes our dressing, and just right into the dressing, I'm going to squeeze the other half of this lemon. It smells so good in here. I'm going to go ahead and hold my hand like this to catch the seeds, because we don't need that in our salad. There's a little one in here with me. That's another part about being on this end of the house. You never know who's going to walk in the kitchen with you. Hey. All right. Now, get my cilantro here. Just a minute. And we're actually going to tear this into our salad. I love big pieces of cilantro. So I'm going to take about 1/4 of a cup and just tear this into my salad. My chicken is smelling amazing. I'm about to need to turn it, I can tell. And then we're just going to get a little bit extra salt in here. Just a second. And we're going to stir this up. You always want to do the salting in your salad too, because those vegetables need some attention. All right, I'm going to stir all this up, and our salad, which is our topping for our tacos, is just about done. I'm going to flip my chicken now. It smells amazing in here. And your goal is a browning on one side. So as long as you see some good browning on there, that's what you want to see. Oh yeah, that was really good and brown. That's happy chicken. And if it's not quite ready, don't rush it. One side's ready because they went in first, and one side's not. So we're going to let it go and finish stirring up this. I could eat this salad just with the fork standing right here, but that's not the goal. Dinner is the goal. Right? Right? Okay. I always have to have a little tomato in my salad. So if I did not have that can of Rotel, I would have chopped up a little bit of tomato anyway, just because that's the way I am. Now, I'm going to let this other half of this chicken get flipped, and it's going to cook for a minute, and then I'll be right back to show you how to assemble these tacos. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so I flipped my chicken. I went ahead and turned my heat down to medium. I added about 1/4 of a cup of water into the bottom of my pan, and I covered my chicken. So it's seared on both sides, and then I put a little water in there and let it do its thing covered. And what that did is it let the brown bits off the bottom of the pan come up, and I'm going to scrape those just a little bit because I'm going to chop my chicken and return it into the sauce. So, and it's really not a sauce. It's kind of like pan drippings, but it's what's going to make our chicken have immense amounts of flavor. So while that's happening, I am going to go ahead and get some tortillas out. We can't put cold tortillas into our tortilla holders. We're going to have to warm those up. So I'm going to warm up some tortillas real quick, and then I'm going to chop my chicken. Now, get my tortillas just into the microwave real quick. And I always like to wrap my tortillas in a little towel or a paper towel, whichever one, so it holds in the moisture and they don't dry out in the microwave. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to towel them up and get them into the microwave really quickly. About a minute for 8 tortillas is more than enough. I probably will do 30 seconds or 45 seconds. Let's see. Let's do 45 seconds and then go, because I just don't want to overdo it. Okay, so my chicken is ready to be chopped. I'm going to grab my tongs and get my chicken onto my board. It is smart to rest your chicken before you cut it. So if you've got 5 minutes to do that, absolutely do that. This has actually, because I've been chatting with you, rested a couple of minutes. But the good news is this is going to get returned back to the pan, and the juices in the pan are going to go back into the meat, and it's all going to get remarried back together. You don't have to chop this super small. You're just getting it bite-size-ish into your mouth and returning it back into the pan. So I'm just going to plow through this really quickly with my knife. I always link my knife below because it's a really good, affordable knife to have on hand. And because, too, I always travel with my knives. It comes with a cover, and I absolutely love that. Both for the fact that we have little ones that often have their hands in the drawers with the silverware, but also because I go places, and that just saves me from having to wrap it in 45 different boxes. I've been known to carry my knife before this knife. I've been known to carry my knife wrapped in paper towels and a rubber band around it and then stuck into a pot holder. And then I realized, well, there's got to be a better way. Chefs travel with their knives all the time. There is. There's a much better way. That's just my little ingenuity doing it. That's taco seasoning. Like I said, I'm not in the kitchen by myself today. Making it a family affair. All right, I'm plowed through this chicken. I'm going to get it all back into my pan here. Yes. You're being so good and patient. All right, so this is going to be amazing. We're actually having friends over in a little while. I'm teaching a private lesson today. So I actually am going to teach a little young man how to cook as part of his 13th birthday gift from his family. He is a student in Mama Witten's kitchen, but he in addition wanted a private lesson in person. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, so my chicken is totally chopped and returned back into the pan. I got all my extra juices in the pan as well, so we didn't waste anything and leave that behind. So I'm just going to turn my chicken in its liquid real quick and get it ready to fill up my tacos. All right, here we go. All right, so good. It would be bad of me not to taste this before I fix a taco to feed to somebody else, wouldn't it? It doesn't even need the salad, but we're going for it. Now, all in all, this is less than a 20-minute meal. We've got our beans that are going to be beautiful. Got my taco shells. We're going to load them up into my holders. Now, if you're doing corn tortillas, I always say this about corn tortillas, double those bad boys. They have a lot more tendency to break and get fragile when you get stuff in them. But these flour tortillas are a one and done. Okay, so we're getting those in here. And we're going to fill them up. Little chicken for everybody goes down first. And this will serve at least, I would say, 12 to 15 tacos this size. And that's this size tacos. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some salad. Yummy. Now, these could absolutely be an appetizer if you wanted to get a smaller size. These would be great for game day. Just assemble and have them out. I could eat 2 of these and be done. That's just me, though. Our boys would eat 4, though. 3 or 4. All right. Don't hesitate to pick up these salad kits. They have a really, really, really good value. Look at that. We did that in no time. Now our beans. Take this off. Get my beans plated up. Now my beans have a little of that taco seasoning. We mimicked that. We also have some Rotel in there. So they're really simple, and some cilantro. Now I'm going to do beans on this end of the plate and make one more taco just for me that I don't have to share. The beautiful part about being the one in charge is I get to taste the first bite if I so desire. And usually I end up giving that honor to somebody else. But today it's going to be me. I'll link my knife below, and I'll also link the way you can become a student in Mama Witten's kitchen. Look at that. Oh, well, I need a little bit of cilantro on top of my beans. Just because. All right, here we go. I'm going to taste my beans first while I'm letting my chicken cool just a little bit. Actually, the chicken I think is a little bit cooler, but I've got the fork in my hand. They're delicious. Okay, that first bite, it's time. Delicious. And that wasn't a video bite. Sorry about that. I'll see you next time. Happy cooking, y'all.